Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, June the 11th, 2024. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. Takes care of the disclosure for today. Micro Russell in a trade that's gone too far, we'll look for a new trade there. Flat on the YM. Crude has a break even trade and then a full loss on the second short. So we gain 2 ticks on the first trade and we lose 38 on the second. So we're down 36 with 1 trade to go. Pound Aussie is in a trade that was set up too early for us to get in, went too far to get into. Unleaded. First trade is a short at 0.87, and then we stop and reverse to long at 0.91. So that's a loss of 8 ticks net, and we have just picked up a long trade there. Unleaded is long. And then we took a full stop out on the 191 because the calculator showed a break even, but because of the stop and reverse adjustment to 91 from 86, we have to move our money management up to, should be 41.01. Oh, never mind. I've already moved it to the next one. So we had to move it up to 41.01, and we did not get there. So that ended up being a full loss. Good morning, Bill. Okay. Feel free to ask any questions that come up. You don't have to just listen. The market just opened, and we got a short on the YM that went way too fast. Yeah, it went through too fast, so that's a no trade. We'll track it to see when we can get a new one. Looking for a new setup. Soybeans has a long setup. Did trigger in. Soybeans is on counterpunch. YM crude and unleaded are on spotlight, as is the pound Aussie. YM strongly down, as is the micro Russell. Both of those are not trades we're participating in. The micro Russell is too early, and the YM just went through way too fast. And unleaded takes a second full loss on the long side. YM and Michael Russell pushing down quickly this morning. Yeah, YM just stopped out. That might be close enough. High on that is, yeah, there's our trade. Short at 49. One tick below the session low. I would certainly not be adverse to pushing that down to 48. Give us and this is that's interesting. Where did it get down to? Got down to 49. This would be, if you didn't adjust, this would be a stop and reverse. Otherwise, if you adjusted, it's a long trade. That went full stop. Actually, did. No, that was an avoidable. That would have canceled the short. And so we would be flat. If you make the adjustment, we'd be flat with no loss, because that the long was too fast to have dealt with. Account settings and trade plan rules for most of these are all on your owner sites for particular strategies. Micro Russell is on Catapult. So that'll be the Catapult E-minis. The Pound Aussie, Unleaded, Crude, and YM settings are all on the Spotlight owner site, and soybeans trade plan is on the Counterpunch website, owner website. And before too long, I'm going to have a cloud control chart up here for us to look at. There's a new short on the YM. How fast did that happen? 51. Nope, that was another too fast to trade. Just 5 seconds, and it's way down there, and didn't come back up to give us an entry. There'll be a trade plan section in each of those. Now, of course, you can use the settings on the E-minis owner site with CatX as well, which is CatX is Catapult Extreme. That's not limited to a particular market. So we still have no trades on the YM. And soybeans stops and, well, let's see. How fast did we have a chance to get into the long? Yep, I'm afraid that one we were in, so we're going to stop and reverse on soybeans to short, and that's going to be at 83 1/4. And that's hit target 1 and target 2. Stop will be at 83 flat. Target 1 was 7, so yeah, we'll take 2 positions off at target 2. Target 1 would have been 5 ticks after the stop and reverse adjustment, so that's below the minimum of 6. Target 2 would have been 9, so get 2 positions there, and we stop out. Let's see. Yeah, we just stopped out at 83 flat, picking up 3 more ticks. Or 2 more ticks, excuse me. We got 2 positions remaining. So 20 ticks on the trade. And we lost that would have been our money management right there after the stop and reverse adjustment. So we're looking for another trade, I suspect. We'll go from 86 flat to 83 1/4, 2 3/4 points. 11 ticks. We lost 11 points. We gained back 5, so we're down 6 points. 24 ticks. And need additional trades. There was another short on the YM, a little one. Looks like that one goes. Yeah, that target 4 would have been our active target. We didn't get to that, so it's just a break even. And now we go long. On YM. We have to work through the 200 EMA, or yeah, not 200, but 50 EMA. That's that goldenrod colored exponential moving average that we're testing, sitting at 661 at the moment. Unleaded. Ooh. Picking up a long trade. It may be avoidable. It just depends on how quickly it reversed direction. It looks like it came at one or two head. And there is a short trade, a tick beyond the stop. I'm going to assume that we avoided that one. So far, we're still in the long trade. And the short is valid. And the YM now taking some heat on that long trade. And we are in our micro NQ session time as well. YM long takes a full stop out. Seemingly a downward trending day. On our E-minis, or at least on our market indices. Everything's still active, so I've got no place to put unleaded, so that I can see that I can take a look at micro NQ, which trade plan starts at 4 minutes after market open. All right, the short trade on unleaded canceled, and there you can just pick up a new one. And we should be in that short. So short on unleaded. Actually, that's a stop and, well, no, I would say that's an avoided trade, so that one we take on the as it plotted. If you did end up in the long trade, now it's not going to be any. Yeah, it's going to be an adjustment for stop and reverse. This one is actually up in the trade. YM with a long setup. So yeah, soybean stopped out. And this, yeah, we're down 11. We're down 6 points, and we're in a long trade. Long on soybeans, short on the YM. I would say that the long was avoidable as well. The short may have been too quick. Let's see. 35.36. I know that was a long bar, so we'll have to. I'll assume that we did get in that. And solid target one, 34 ticks. And trailing on the YM. 571 for the trailer going through target 2, which we don't have a position on. Michael Russell with a short trade. And this one is a little bit bigger than normal, but not enough to move to different targets. Target is target 3. And we did hit money management already. So we're at a break-even stop at 081. Unleaded looks like it hit a break-even there. And then triggered long again and taking heat on the long. YM with a big move here. Another significant down move. Trailer all the way down to 511 and it just stopped out at 511. So we took 47.94 tick loss on the first trade. So we picked up 34 on the target for that one. And we got our trailer at 511. From 573.62. Man, that's what I would call a break-even session so far. I would go ahead. That's not enough of a profit to call it POQ, for at least I would say. So we take the long trade. Since we weren't sure, I would say this is a get in sync at this point. Wouldn't have just jumped into the trade without knowing where I stood. That looks like we just triggered it in anyway. So we are long on the YM. We picked up 96 ticks. We were down 94. So we're up 2 ticks, which is technically that would be a power quitting, but 2 ticks to me is not enough to call it positive. That's a break-even situation. And we take a break-even stop out on the micro Russell. Long trade setup on crude canceled. I would have adjusted that around the I'd have adjusted that to 53, maybe 54, 53. Get around the 200 EMA. That wouldn't even have been necessary. It still didn't figure in. Unleaded still in the long trade. The possible stop and reverse canceled. Now, short was a possible stop and reverse review. Should be in the long, and the short did cancel. Did not trigger unadjusted. And the YM gives us another target. I think it gets target 1. If it's over 20 ticks, it is. Yep, 22 ticks. And we're trailing at 522. So this is definitely going to be our power of quitting trade. We have a potential stop and reverse on soybeans. That's at 81.5 with our 2-tick stop and reverse adjustment. Otherwise, we're still in the long trade. Now, Aussie is still in the early trades, so looking for a new setup there. Nothing new. On a new long setup, I would go to 53 again on crude. And I would make the stop 27 rather than having it on the session low of 29. $5.54 for the YM trailer. Crude long trade has not triggered in yet, adjusted. It touched the entry of 51 unadjusted, but adjusting around the 200, and we're still flat. Soybeans just triggered short. That was a stop and reverse. Unleaded in the long trade. Crude still flat. And the YM did stop out. That will end that session. 5.59 for the trailing stop. And I will move unleaded up there so we can take a look at micro NQ. All right, that looks like an avoidable short. Hit entry and or hit the entry and stop on the same bar. Yeah, looks like the long trade was too fast. Set up 10 seconds before our start time. We had 1, 2, the third bar is on our entry, and it hit target 1, so that would take the trade off. No trades so far on Micro NQ. I think this is likely to be an avoidable trade, avoidable long here. So we're finally into a short. And the short gives us full stop out and reverses to long, or transitions into long. YM long is still long. Soybeans is short. Crude is long. All right, no, crude is flat. Oh, that's not the YM, that's unleaded I'm looking at. Unleaded is still long in the long trade. Micro NQ is long. There's a stop potential. Well, that's not even a potential stop and reverse. That's a potential short trade since we aren't in the long. That triggers at 77.39. So we are short on crude for our third trade of the 9 a.m. mini session. And there is our money management at the session low of 29. So our target is 27. All right, that stop is at 52. And right at the 50 EMA, so I would go, I don't like 4 ticks, but I've got 50 EMA and key level. I want to get a couple of ticks over the 50 EMA, and that puts me at 54. So let's take that to 56. I don't particularly like that. I think that's the best way to play it. Money management on Micro NQ. Our entry was 25 3/4. Stop is at 26 flat now. Looking for target 2. Actual target marker down right there. That's what we're looking for. Unleaded trying to move up, but it's very choppy move. Higher lows, higher highs. That's good, but it's moving back and forth a fair amount. The way it's moving around, we're highly likely. Oops, I spoke too soon. heading for a full stop out here. Yeah, looks like it may find some support. Nope, full stop out. Not a good morning on the unleaded this morning. Almost down to target one, or to money management on the crude short trade. One tick away. We got down to 77.30. That is a session low. Needing one more tick to get money management. He's slowing down this morning. I did see you say hello, Don. Thank you. Didn't have a chance to reply at the time. All right, Micro NQ with getting a win. So that's one loss, one win so far. Stop still at 26 flat, although it looks like it's getting far. Yeah, there it goes. Now stop at 41.25. 44 flat. And looks like crude got to money management. So that will bring the stop to 77.38. And I believe, yeah, there's target 2. That's 12 ticks. And target 3 for another 16. So 28 ticks on that trade. Let's see, we were down 38. We're down 36. So we ended up 8 ticks negative on the session. That last trade got us back a whole lot closer than we were. Actually, that may have been. No. I don't think that would have been a 10 a.m. session trade. So we'll call that 8 tick loss on the 9 a.m. session. We are in the 10 a.m. session. And we are short on soybeans. Long trade on the micro Russell. Entry at 12.1. And yep, we've gotten there now. So in that trade, maybe adjust that. 50 EMA is sitting at 12.1. I'd push that up to 12.3, and it looks like we still got there. Got to go up one with that adjustment. Another small wick on this one. Supposed to be low scaling on that. Oh. Long trade on the YM. Moves up quickly. And this came back to get in sync. All right, okay. I'm thinking that's the YM because it's the in the YM position. That's unleaded. Micro Russell is taking some heat here. We have just a get in sync, or rather a break even so far on the Micro Russell. Crude did complete. YM got positive. And another full stop out on soybeans. Actually, a full stop out this time on soybeans. And we have a get in sync long that just triggered in at 85 3/4. Soybeans is long. Micro Russell is long. Unleaded is long. Micro NQ is long. And the pound Aussie is short. Crude is flat. Crude's in its 10 a.m. mini session. We have a potential stop and reverse. On unleaded, potential to stop and reverse to short. Close above the stop. No, that will cancel, and it just did. Short just canceled. $49.5 now for the micro NQ stop. We have gotten target 3. So targets 2 and 3. Your next objective is target 4. Still in the short trade on the pound Aussie from around 7:30 this morning. Still waiting for a new setup there for us to trade. 8:30 start time on that trade plan. 8:30 Eastern. Micro Russell and Micro NQ are 8:30 Central Time starts, as is the YM. Unleaded and crude 9 a.m. Eastern starts, and of course the crude mini sessions start. Mini session 10 a.m. mini session starts at 10 a.m. Eastern. Soybeans also traded out of Chicago, so that is on Central Time, 8:30 Central start time. But all the timestamps on my charts are Eastern. Because that's one thing that NinjaTrader doesn't have. Is the ability to display different time zones on different charts so that we can match up exchange times. Micro NQ stopped to 52.5. Actually, I might hold that. We had a spike that went through that slightly before it moved. The low was 51.5. So yeah, I'd bring that down to 51. Keep it a couple of ticks, at least a couple of ticks below that swing low. Micro Russell still trying to decide if it's going to push higher or not. So long and unleaded. Crude is waiting for its first trade in the 10 a.m. mini session. Micro Russell is long. Pound Aussie is flat. System is in a short trade. And before our session start time, Micro NQ is long. Stop at adjusted stop at 51 flat. And soybeans is long. We have one chart complete. And two charts flat. And four trades in progress. Micro Russell trying to push up to its money management. Looks like we got the 13.5. We need 13.7. Money management on the Micro Russell, 13.7. We could come back to a stop out here. We were at and we were at 12.3. So it comes back to 12 point, and it just came back to 12.4. That's a break even. So two break evens on the Micro Russell this morning. Everything else is still the same. Unleaded is long. Soybeans is long. Micro NQ is long. Pound Aussie, Micro Russell, and crude are all flat. moving to break even is the one time we move intra-bar, so sometimes the calculator will not be quite the same since it does not do anything intra-bar. It will only move the stop at the close of a bar. Basically, just work with it a little bit. I never never got into TradeStation 10 because I started with NinjaTrader. Because I started with NinjaTrader 7. And NinjaTrader 8 was a significant improvement over NinjaTrader 7. All right. It's like we moved up our stop on the micro NQ another step. So this time it's hiding right below the 200 EMA, 55 and a quarter. And I would definitely keep that one. Getting very close to target 4. I suspect probably one of the things that will be easiest to get used to it. Now it won't necessarily get you executing trades, but the way getting used to how it sets up the charts and so forth is do some more back testing. And movement on the micro NQ again. We did get target 4, and the stop moves up to 61 flat. Soybeans approaching the session open, and right at the session open now at 1188 flat. That was the opening price of the session yesterday evening. Yesterday late afternoon, 4 p.m. Central. One of the major differences, Don, in NinjaTrader versus TradeStation is you have to wait for the trade to trigger in before you can adjust your target and stop handles. Target 1 on soybeans. Let's see, we were down 5 points. We took this full stop. That was 14 points plus 2 more, actually, so 16 points. So we're down 21 points. We just picked up target 1 for 2.5. That brings us to 18.5 points down. And we just picked up target 2 for another 17 ticks or 4.25 points. So we're 14.25 points down, 2 positions remaining. And trailer is at 1186 flat. I do also like the way that NinjaTrader sets up the ATMs, which is your templates for TradeStation, in that you can have as many exits in on the automatic trade management as you would like. The OCO trades, or yeah, the bracket orders. If you cancel one side of a bracket order, it will cancel both sides of the bracket order, which I actually kind of like. So if you lose one side, if you accidentally cancel one handle, you cancel that whole bracket order. But what you can do is, in that case, is what I usually do is I'll cancel all the orders, and then you can go into the control panel and institute the original ATM strategy, and then you can just move your handles back to where they belong. Move the handles to where they belong at the time you set it up. But I find if I leave about 75 pixels space on the right hand side, that gives me some space to work with my trade handles and chart trading. Back for NQ, stop up to 69 3/4. Unleaded making another attempt to breach the 50 EMA. And a long trade on crude. $77.47. Target 1 and money management at 77.57. Yeah, well, it's not really a default, but you set it. If you just right click on a blank space in the chart, it'll be properties. And it's right side margin. And that'll be the same on all of my, that's what I use in all of my charts. The only exception to that is I actually, when you see my, and we just hit target 1, money management and target 1 on unleaded. Trailer comes all the way up to 993, and trying to hit target 2. Crude also hit target 1. So that's 10 ticks. I'm looking for the next target, target 2. It will be a POQ session, the 10 a.m. session. Soybeans trailing stop moves up to 86 3/4. We are approaching target 3 at 91 3/4. Got as high as 91 1/4. 72 3/4 for the micro NQ trailer. So we have 5 ticks times 2 positions at the moment. The soybeans on the trailer. Unleaded stop moves up again to 994. One more tick. And there's target 3 on soybeans. $24 ticks, 6 points. So that leaves us 8 1/4 points down. Stop moves up to 87 3/4. 2 1/4 points. It's going to take a pretty good runner to get us even on this with just this trade. It's still possible. And break even stop out. So we end up with 11 ticks on our 10 a.m. crude session. And a net of +3 on the day between the 2 sessions. So essentially a break-even day. Maybe a small loss with trade costs. Soybeans is approaching its session high, 1192 3/4, after setting a session low shortly after market open. Stop moves up to 88.50. So 5.25 points we still need to pick up to get even. So we need to get to 93.75 with the trailer to get to even. Unleaded, and then just a couple of ticks to target 2. I'm doing a bit of zebra stripes there just above the 200 EMA. And there is target 2. So 10 a.m. crude session is done. Not much going on the micro Russell. We're still in the long trade, our second trade of the morning on micro NQ, and it's just slowly running it up. Stop now just a little bit shy of where our target 4 level was. Looks like about 7 points maybe. Let's see, 72.75. See what our target was. Target 4 is 78.25, so yeah, 6 points. And the stop just moved up to 78.5. That's not the one I want. Yeah, it is. And that is exactly target 4 now. Unleaded stop moves up to 004. Target 2 was worth 62 ticks. That stop on the pound Aussie looks awfully close to the 200 EMA. 283, and the 200 EMA is 282.8. Yeah, I would push that up to. I'd probably push that up to 280. 286. Push it up 3 pips. And you've also got that swing high coming right up to the 200 EMA. So 3 ticks is not an unreasonable move there. Unleaded stop to 013. 32 ticks now on the trailer on unleaded. And micro NQ pushing up again. And just as I say that, it bounces up again to 90 and a half. So we have soybeans and micro NQ at nearing session highs. Pound Aussie moving down off of session highs. And then the YM just kind of in its range this morning. Yeah. Or unleaded rather. 871 for the session low. 273. So 400 ticks range this morning on unleaded, or since yesterday evening. And unleaded moves up and stops out. That's not what I want. It moves up to 19, which is 38 ticks. So that's a 62 tick target. Yeah. So that's a 100 tick trade. That will get us much better off. I'm going to leave my pound Aussie stop alone. We're still just a pip below the 200 EMA. Yeah, 82, and the EMA is 82.6. So, yeah, I would leave the stop alone at 86. If we were in that trade, actually. And we're not in that trade. So, we're actually flat on the pound Aussie. So we have soybeans and the micro NQ as active trades. Unleaded, crude are both done. And we're flat on the micro Russell. So 4 active charts, 2 of them in trades. Any other questions I can help you with right now, Don? this would be a good time. Oh, one tip on your advanced trade management templates. If you want a trailing position, unlike TradeStation, you don't put a stop and a target in there. You just put in um, a zero target, and all it will do is place a stop for that position. So like if you're running for unleaded target 2 and trail, you would have and you'll have your default just like you would your template, but instead of your two positions will be, the first one will be, you'll have your regular stop and the target. The second position will have a stop and a zero target. And micro NQ setting new session highs. Stop comes up to 1996 or 19096 and a half. All right, soybeans stopping out. Did move up there to 89 flat. 83 and a half is 5.5. Yeah, 5.5 from 8.25 takes us to 2 3/4. So we're almost break even on soybeans, and we can take another trade there. Things are slowing down, and we're almost at 11 o'clock. So I am going to call it a morning, unless there are other questions. Still trailing upward on that micro NQ trade. 99.25 now, and going on up to 102.25. And more movement. You are most welcome, Don. I do try to trade along on the crude oil inventory report on Wednesday, or normally on Wednesdays at 10:30 on the crude chart in sim mode. So that'll give you may give you a better idea of how the order entry process works on chart trading. All right, folks. Don doesn't have any more questions for today, at least none that he's going to ask. So I will see everybody tomorrow morning at 9:30. Everyone have a good afternoon. Stay safe and good trading.